What was that?
What was that? I don't know. Today's Friday. Today's Friday, guys. Thanks for stopping in for another car chat. This car chat, guys, you all have caught us in the vehicle on our way back home to Atlanta. We're on our way back home. We are just about halfway there.
Yeah, we're right outside of Valdosta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a real car chat. Like, I think this is our first car chat where we're like on the highway for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We left Orlando around 7 a.m. this morning. It is 10:28 currently. And like I said, we're what, babe? About halfway?
Yeah, about halfway there.
We're about halfway there.
About the halfway point.
Yep. Just the two of us, of course. And you know how it is. When you are in the vehicle, you know, you're just chatting about things. So we want to come in and bring you guys in on our conversations. However, first off, snacks. Today is the first day going back home that we did not stop and get like fast food.
We're trying to be good.
We've been eating all the things.
When we go to Orlando, we don't really hold back. What we will do, we've talked about this before, we'll do like one bad meal. And a lot of times we'll just try to eat that one bad meal and that's it. Like we went to Arts yesterday at Disney Springs and that's all we had.
Mm-hmm. And we actually shared that meal. And so right now we are readjusting, getting our bodies back acclimated to, you know, regular food.
That vacation food.
Back home, that vacation food hits differently. So I'm just going to be snacking on these veggie garden puffs on the way back to the house. I shared these with you guys on the way here. I shared, you know, what was in my little snack basket. So I only ate one of them and I have this one left over. I love these. This was my first time having them. They actually melt in your mouth. Just really, really light and airy. And then I had this bag left over. These are the salty sweet mixed nuts from Emerald.
Those are really good. Very,
very good. There's a whole bag of these left, not even touched. I have my water, of course. I'm going to be sipping on my V8 Energy Orange Pineapple drink to make sure I stay awake and be a really good passenger when you're on road trips. You guys drop down, leave a comment, let me know. Do you prefer your passenger, if you're on long trips, stay awake and keep you company? Or would you prefer to just zone out with your tunes, your music, and just let them go to sleep?
I think I prefer company, but I don't mind if you go to sleep.
I typically stay awake, but for me, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me. I can just listen to the radio, especially if I have my phone hooked up. So I can go either way. Eric is snacking on a little coffee here. Eric's not a real big coffee drinker.
No, but I like the cold brew. I like an occasional cold brew coffee.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Friday, headed back home. We had a really great trip. It was really good seeing Chase. He had 2 days off, like I mentioned, so we were able to hang out with him those 2 days. And right now it's 10:30. Probably in about another 30 minutes, he'll probably start getting ready to head to work. So he has a really good schedule this week and the week coming up. But wanted to bring you in on the conversation that we were having here in the car. We were talking about the housewives, specifically the Housewives of Atlanta. You know, those are our girls. Those are our people. And right now, guys, if you have been looking at the Bravo franchise as a whole as it relates to the Housewives, Atlanta is not doing so well. Atlanta isn't doing well in the ratings. And once upon a time, the Atlanta girls were Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Orange County first, and then Atlanta came and took over.
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't mention the Housewives franchise without including the Atlanta girls in the conversation. However, right now it is struggling. The Atlanta Housewives, the whole franchise has training wheels on and a cast on one leg.
So
it's a problem.
So, and you know, let's face it, the Housewives, all of those shows are really geared towards women. Like I watched With You, but you know, they're geared towards women, and the husbands and boyfriends get kind of dragged along. So from a woman's perspective, why do you think that is?
Why is it struggling?
And I know it could be
right
a lot
now?
of different reasons.
There are a host of reasons. I feel the franchise as a whole is failing. It's on life support. It's not believable anymore. once upon a time when the housewives, I know the Atlanta housewives, Orange County was first,
right,
and it was, it was those women, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you expect those women to be doing well.
Or Orange County, California is known for that.
Right. So when you saw those ladies doing well, it was nothing different. It's what we saw. It's what was always promoted on television.
That's always been promoted. Yeah.
Well, when the Housewives of Atlanta came along, it was really, really, really good to see.
It was eye-opening to see. And we knew, we were in Atlanta at the time. I'm from Atlanta. And we knew, all of us, I think, knew that you had that element of black culture. But it was nice. And I give Andy Cohen credit to highlight it. He could have went to any other city. But he said, no, I'm going to go black with a black cast in Atlanta. And he didn't have to do that.
So it was really good to see people who looked like us on TV in Atlanta, in our city, doing well. Like you said, babe, we've always known that, Atlanta was that city. We've always known that Atlanta had an element of black greatness.
Yeah, middle class, upper middle class, rich,
we had that. We knew it. So it was really great for Bravo to highlight it. It was really great to see places that we would frequent highlighted on the show. But I just think now it has had its run, and for several reasons. I think the made-up drama that the girls are going through, it's just not believable anymore.
With TikTok and this medium, like I've seen people do full stories on TikTok where they just tell a story about, this is what happened to me, or my boyfriend cheated on me, or I called my wife cheating. With YouTube, with people, like, this is real reality.
It's
what we're doing right now.
It's so sensational. YouTube and TikTok and the arguments on Twitter. It's so sensational. Instagram, they're so sensational that to watch reality TV in the form of the Housewives, it's like, we know y'all don't hang out, y'all aren't friends, so it's not believable.
The money is always funny, and look, we all can have money problems. That's not what we're saying, but we're saying we have learned a lot of it is a facade.
A lot of it is a facade.
A lot of them don't have the money they claim to have.
Well, if we go back to, and a lot of them messed up, and we'll start here with Sheree. Sheree messed up season 1, coming in trying to have this fashion line that here we are in 2023, we still don't have a real viable fashion line or house from Sheree. So I think she came in trying to be too much. Sheree could have come in when the Sheree's house, Sheree's area of town that she lived in, it was a really nice area of Sandy Springs, in Atlanta. Really, really nice area of Atlanta. Sheree could have just sold that. She could have just sold her lifestyle. But because I think the black women felt that they had to come in and outdo what Orange County was doing. She has to be this fashion designer. Like, we're still really waiting, in the words of, what was his name, Dwayne?
Fashion show with no fashion.
Dreadful.
Right, dreadful.
Dreadful.
Let me say this too. When you bring that up, it's like we forget. Time goes by fast.
What's his name, Dwayne?
Yeah, Dwight. We forget. Time goes by fast. Housewives is an old show, because that was like, that's gotta be 15 years ago. So has the audience, have me, you, all of you watching, have we outgrown it?
I think we have outgrown it, in the sense that so much has come along since then. Like we said, YouTube, we have, Instagram now. We have
as you
TikTok,
get older, your taste
Twitter.
change. It's like, I'm not interested in drama. A lot of times as we get older, we get more chill. I'm not interested in drama anymore.
They are fighting over just he said, she said.
It's the same old fight.
It's the same fight. Every season it's, okay, if Sheree and Candy are fighting this season, next season Sheree and Candy will be best friends, and they're fighting with Kenya and one of the other girls, Marlo. It's just not believable now. When we see, skirmishes on Instagram or, fallout on YouTube, that stuff is real. It is real. Right now they're just recycling stories. So we know Sheree, she came in, she could have been, I think Sheree's story would have been a lot more believable today had she not come in all those many years ago trying to be this big fashion designer girl.
And let me ask you this. You mentioned Sheree. Is bringing the older housewives back, the Nenes, the Phaedras, is that the solution? Do you feel like bringing back the OGs would help the show? Or is it just like I'm done. And are there any cast members you think need to go? Does Candy need to go? Does, I don't remember who else is on there. Kenya, does she need to go? Would that help at all? Would that take it off life support?
Right. So you hate to cut off someone's paycheck. I think all of these girls, maybe with the exception of Candy, they're living for those checks. They're living for those Bravo checks. And let's face it, to get on TV and do what they're doing, they are really not putting in a whole lot of effort for, what they're getting paid. So I hate to say, we need to get rid of this person and replace with that. I just feel as a whole, that entire reality TV genre, unfortunately, has run its course. Candy, I feel, is the only one on the show that has really taken the Housewives of Atlanta and turned it into something where now she doesn't really need it anymore. Candy's doing Broadway. She's doing her own little plays. Candy has her real fashions. Right. We talked about Sheree and her fashions. Sheree stuff is just recycled Shein stuff.
And talking about Sheree, I'm gonna want to segue into another show that's on now, because Sheree is dating
Martell from Huntsville. Yeah,
I've been watching Huntsville. You stopped, and I'm about to stop.
Yeah, it's recycled. They've taken one story that was sensational, and that was Martell cheating on Melody, and for 395 seasons, we're getting Martell and Melody. Well, do we even need the other cast members at this point? Let Martell and Melody get their own show, and we just base all the storylines around them. So it's the reality TV. I really think it's just falling by the wayside, and I think YouTube has had a lot to do with their demise. Let
me ask you this, babe, because we talk about reality TV a lot, and we read the comments.
Yeah,
a lot of you have said, and I don't disagree. Hey, Eric Tan, I stopped watching reality TV 5-6 years ago because I just felt like I didn't like the direction where it was headed. Right. It was detrimental to African Americans in particular, and I don't like it. Do you think as a whole it's been detrimental to us, or do you feel like
I don't think it's been detrimental, because I feel that black people are the culture. There's a saying, everybody wants to be black, but nobody wants to be black. Right. So I feel that everybody watches what we do, takes bits and pieces of it, re-swizzles it, and they get paid for it. If you look at a lot of the people on TikTok, the dances and things like that, that's all our stuff.
Oh, don't get us started on that.
But it's just been re-swizzled.
Yeah,
so
they're taking it re-swizzled.
Yeah, there are people watching what we do and becoming more profitable. They're having a lot more longevity with it than we are. So I don't necessarily think it's been detrimental
and it's funny,
to the culture.
If anything, what I've gotten from Housewives, because I haven't watched all of them in depth, but I've seen bits and pieces of New York. I've seen the OC. I've seen Atlanta.
Because what we do when we all women,
it's all the same.
They caddy.
All the shows are the same.
Throw the wine glass. You go to New Jersey.
They're all the same. New Jersey's
Teresa turned the table over. Her turning that table over at dinner is iconic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When you get enough women together year after year after year who really don't have a friendly relationship, it's going to be a problem.
So it shows that all people are the same. Look, are there some minor nuances maybe on Atlanta that
black women bring the stank?
It's going to be a little bit more with the black women.
Black women bring the stank.
But there's a reason for that. There's a cultural, historical reason. We've had to fight more.
Yeah, and I think that's why black women get the reputation that we get. You know what I'm saying?
But they fight on these other shows. And they've come to blows just about on some of these other shows.
Like
so
I said, Teresa turning the table over. You know, the OC, they throwing wine glasses. No.
They want to lay hands. They maybe don't.
Lay hands.
But the laying of the
black
hands
woman, we're just a little bit more quick.
Yeah.
We may be a little bit more quick to get heated.
Right.
But we as black women know when we interact with other black women, we know what lines we can cross and not cross.
If you talk about positive images, could you argue that Huntsville and what's the one with the doctors? Married to Medicine started off with a positive note. On one, you're highlighting black entrepreneurs and real estate professionals in Huntsville. Another one, you're highlighting black doctors.
I think all the shows are needed. It's unfortunate that, like I said, the Housewives franchise is falling off, but I think just like in the real world, we have different facets of people. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody deserves to be represented in the media, right? I think the girls who love the the somewhat ratchetness of, let's say, love and hip hop, those girls deserve to be represented, and they deserve to see their representation on TV. Right. I don't get down with love and hip hop, all those different franchises. That's not me. Right. But the girl who lives across town, that might be her ministry, and who am I to say that she shouldn't see an example of herself on TV?
So you don't believe in bad representation? I can understand why people say it's bad representation. Right. I will also say, though, in this day and age, if somebody thinks a certain way about a race or a specific that's
you
just
can't
what they
change them. That's
because
just how they're going to feel.
We've had a whole black president, obviously, mm-hmm. and a great first lady. There's a black vice president right now. Mm-hmm. They should know at this point that we are a diverse people. Here in the States, we've had black presidents, and in Africa is certainly doing this thing. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of the point of it is.
What is Africa doing?
Just the up and coming economies. Nigeria, Ghana. All these economies are up.
Right.
So the point is, we're obviously a diverse people if you pay attention. If you want to hate on black people at this point and think that's just what you want.
Your way of thinking, and you're not going to change that. Yeah. And if you flip the coin, when we look at a lot of, and guys, we are all over the place right here, and this is what we do when we're on these long drives. Yeah. If you look at historically some of the mass murders,
you're really going all over.
When we look at who perpetrates some of these mass murders, a lot of them do not look like us, but I feel we are intelligent enough to know it is not that entire group.
So I get what you're saying. You're saying if you're not going to stereotype a certain group for doing that, don't stereotype. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Don't look at us because you
watch the episode.
You might flip on the TV and Love and Hip Hop is on, and they throwing stuff across the table. Oh my God! All black women they're so ratchet. They're so trash. Yeah. No, that was her. That was her. So if I don't pigeonhole you into one,
stereotyping
way of thinking, don't do it for us. And so with that, again, I feel it is okay if this girl who behaves or acts like the ladies on Love and Hip Hop and she wants to see representation, then so be it. Now, am I condoning, y'all, we should be able to go out to eat now and not be throwing wine glasses and turning tables over, pulling wigs and stuff off. We absolutely should have a bit more decorum. Yeah. But you got to meet people where they're at. Maybe they're at a point in their life where that's all they know right now.
Yeah.
That's all they know right now. They're a bunch of hotheads. Yeah. She's a good person inside. These ladies, they're good people, but they hotheads. She go from 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. She ain't that girl. But we would hope that as life, ages her, these ladies would get a little bit more wise.
And that's kind of what we were saying earlier. Even with the housewife, have a lot of us aged out of it, because as you get older, you just want less drama.
Yeah.
As you get older, what you tend to do
it's not a problem, but I really think that's the issue. Yeah.
You tend to walk away from drama rather than engage in it as you get older.
I mean, I've mentioned to you guys before, a couple of videos back, I've started rewatching Downton Abbey.
Right.
I don't need the drama. Right. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. When I have a moment to relax, I'm not trying to watch chaos TV.
Yeah.
I just want something relaxing and chill. And every now and then, we may tip in for an episode like we have done here recently with the Housewives of Atlanta. We've, kind of tipped in.
Yeah,
but have we started and we've watched up to this point, the entire season, have not missed an episode? No, we haven't done that. And in watching the few episodes that we have seen as of late, I can just tell you, they got training wheels on. I don't know how they're going to continue. The storylines are just, and look, I'm not saying, well, they're not doing enough fighting, there's not enough, pulling wigs off or whatever. I just feel that the storylines from these ladies, they're not compelling enough to keep me interested. Sheree, she's gonna have to funnel this into something else, and you know what, I will applaud Sheree for her and Martell linking up, because there is no relationship there. Drop down, leave a comment if you truly feel there's a relationship, some chemistry between Martell and Sheree. There ain't nothing going on there, but Sheree got bills.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. So we all know that reality TV at this point, y'all are a bunch of actors and actresses.
I think that hurt it too. I do think reality TV started out as reality.
But they started scripting it.
But you have to, because look, we're all adults. How exciting can your life really be?
That's the other thing.
Yeah, you go to work, you come home, so they have to make up drama.
You guys know here on YouTube, I mean, if you're watching, let's say, you know, lifestyle vloggers, or, you know, even watching us when I put up our vlogs, how exciting is one person's life?
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, as adults, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, you don't want too much excitement, because that means there's drama. You want to go to work, take an occasional vacation, take care. You don't want all that drama.
Exactly.
And that can be boring.
So, Sheree, I applaud her for what she's doing, but I feel there really isn't enough of a story, unfortunately, at this point for Sheree to continue with the franchise.
Let me ask you this. You know, you're mentioning Sheree. As a man, I hear this a lot with women that watch these shows. Women have favorites. So you like Nene. And y'all will say, well, I like Nene on the show, but I don't like the new girl on the show. What makes it where this is a woman like, yeah, I really want to watch her, but I don't want to watch her? What makes Nene that girl, for example, for you?
So to start, if we go back to seasons 1 through maybe 5, right? When Nene came on the show, she was the underdog.
Yes,
Nene didn't have the wealth that the other ladies had. She had not been married to a baller. She had not been married to, you know, these other moguls or whatever that these ladies, you know, have been married to. So she was the underdog. Her wigs weren't as grand as the other ladies' wigs, nor were her clothes. You know, Nene looked like a regular girl, and they rode her for that. They made fun of her for that, much like they did Tammy Rowland. Is that her? Tammy Roman.
Yeah.
You remember on the Basketball Wives? That's another one.
Yeah.
Man, they just made fun of Tammy, her clothes, and, you know, her bags were outdated. That was last season's bag. And so that was the type of stuff they did to Nene. And I love a good underdog. I love a good just wait and see type of story. You know what I'm saying? Just watch me. The Lord not finished with me yet. We all here together. Let's see. The cream gonna rise to the top. Nene, some kind of way, usurped past all of them, right? Nene was on NBC at one point.
She was.
Nene at one point
she on QVC with
had a clothing line. I believe it was HSN or either QVC, right? Nene was that girl for a minute, but then all of her quick success and fame, I think it went to her head, and then she really did start to turn into, you know, a persona that I didn't really like. I still liked Nene, but it was the old Nene, the Nene who was the underdog. The Nene was like, yeah, I'm around these girls. They got their $10,000 bags and they shopping at Saks. They're up at Phipps all the time. But I'm hanging in here, and she did. And, you know, she made something out of nothing, really. You know, Nene was, where was she from? Some backwoods, some area of Georgia?
She's from Athens. I think that's not
Athens. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Athens.
From Athens. That's where UGA is like the biggest school. Yeah.
But we have been to Athens. Ain't a lot there, but UGA.
True.
You know, ain't a lot there. But
let us know in the comments if. So there's a lot of questions we have. One, I guess the first.
So do you understand what the relationship? Why I feel like I feel about Nene?
Oh, I absolutely do, and that makes sense. Let us know in the comments. I have a lot of questions for you guys. So comment below. One, I guess the first question is, do you think Housewives could be saved by bringing back a certain cast member? Or is there a cast member that you want to see leave that you think is, for lack of a better word, boring?
Well, what were you gonna say?
The second question, then I'll let you ask yours, is do you still even watch reality TV? Are you one of these people that's like, look, I watched it for the first couple of seasons and I was sick of it. I hadn't watched it in years, so I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Well, so you mentioned bringing back some people, right? Boy, they must have doing some bad things. You get pulled off on the left side.
Oh, no, that's dangerous.
Bro, he wanted you. Sorry guys, I digress. Kim Zolciak. Kim is really throwing her hat in the ring. You know, she sees that the Housewives of Atlanta is on life support. She's like, girl, bring me back. I can help them out. I will say though, Kim couldn't wait to get away from them ladies when Bravo gave her that little spinoff, though. I will say that. But Kim got a good storyline.
She does.
Kim has a good storyline now.
It's real juicy.
And this, I think with reality TV, people don't like the fake drama. She got real drama now. Kim and Croy going at it. Apparently, Croy has locked Kim out of her own store. So apparently, well, it's not apparently, you guys know, Kim was, selling her wigs. Kim loved a good full wig. And so back in the day, she had started selling her old wigs. She had so many of them. And so right now, she's been selling some of the kids' things. And look, I have no problem with that. I'm clearing out my closet. If you're not using the stuff, it makes no sense for it to sit up there. But I think right now, you guys know, if you didn't know, Kim has a gambling allegedly has a gambling problem. And so what she's doing now, allegedly, is taking the money that she's getting from the sale of those items and, gambling with it. If it were just Kim, she didn't have, kids or whatever, I say that's that girl's money. Those are that girl's things. Let her do what she want to do with her money. However, Kim now has to think about the household. And so if she's able to get a few dollars from those wigs or the kids' luxury clothing that they no longer want or can't wear, Kim, we got to sell that stuff and we got to put it back into the household. Yeah. We can't keep taking it and, getting plastic surgery and all that stuff. So yeah, there's Kim. I think Kim really could be an asset if Bravo is trying to save the Atlanta franchise. Who else could they bring back? Phaedra. Phaedra. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. But Phaedra could have really been an asset to
Isn't
this
she going to be on the
season.
next season of Married to Medicine?
She is going to be reported.
Is she married a doctor or is she engaged to a doctor? So I don't know.
Something like that. She is reportedly going to be on Married to Medicine.
Okay.
But I would have liked to see Phaedra back on Housewives of Atlanta. And if you guys didn't know, the reason Phaedra was let go from the franchise was because of her relationship with Kandi. Now, I won't go into the specifics of it because it's salacious.
Yeah, they fell out many
Phaedra accused Kandi of doing something that really could have sent Kandi to jail, right? And Kandi refused to film with Phaedra anymore and said that she would not return to the show if Phaedra was there. So it's been speculated that Kandi and Andy have a really great relationship, and Kandi favors Andy favors Kandi, and so for that he chose Kandi. And in doing so, I'm not sure if that has kind of hastened the demise of, the Atlanta franchise. Because I think bringing Phaedra back on and, kind of forcing them to work together really would have helped the ratings. I think a lot of people would have liked to see, Phaedra had a good storyline herself. She was married to Apollo. He went to prison, and then, about the time that that particular season was going to kick off, Apollo was released. So they have 2 kids together. What was the dynamic between the 2 of them? She could have talked about that. But again, Bravo chose Kandi saying she's not going to work with Phaedra. But here's the thing. If it's reality TV, if it's really reality TV, that's something that they should have been able to film. And if Kandi was like, I'm not going to do it, then she would have to kick rocks.
And that's what's funny about reality TV in general. It does 2 things. One, it makes good friends become like mortal enemies. Oh my! We've seen that on all of them.
And then a lot of the spouses break up too.
A lot of the spouses break up.
Yeah.
And then it forces you to hang out with people that you would not hang out with in real life. You just wouldn't hang out with these people. But you wouldn't go to lunch and dinner, as they always do on these shows, with a bunch of people you don't like.
But then the checks are so big.
So you got to. Yeah.
So you have to do it. So that's why I just don't understand why Kandi wasn't forced to film with Phaedra if this is in fact reality TV. Yeah. So I think her, who else would I like to see bring back? I think Nene coming back now. I think Nene and Phaedra, if they had come back this season, hey, Nene, Phaedra, and Portia, if the 3 of them had come back this season, I think it really would have helped. I think Monyetta Shaw we didn't need.
Wow, okay.
I think the track star girl, and I like her.
Sonya Richards-Ross.
Sonya Richards-Ross. I've always liked her.
Even before this, you always were a fan of hers, yeah.
This is since the Olympics. I've always kind of admired her. You guys know I used to run track.
Here we go.
I used to run track. Like, y'all, I was real athletic. You know what I'm saying? That's why she's holding this thing together. She used to be real athletic.
Let me ask you this. Could they start from scratch and get, that's the other thing too. All these women are older. They're all over 40.
Yeah.
could they bring in a new crop of 30, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds?
But why does TV have to be under 30 for it to be good TV?
Right, because I think our generation doesn't want to watch it anymore. But then the younger generation, they're going to watch TikTok. They're not going to
watch it anyway. I do agree that we know all there is to know about these ladies. There's nothing else you can tell us. I will say, though, again, going back to Phaedra, we don't know all there is to know. And if she wants to tell it, then we're here to listen. If she wants to tell her story about what's going on with her and Apollo right now and how they are able to, co-parent. Apollo has since married some other girl. I think he married this girl in prison. These are all great storylines, right? TV, this type of TV, reality TV, it is supposed to be sensational and salacious. So I think bringing Phaedra back really, really, really could have helped. But, to kind of answer your question, do we need to, continue with these ladies? Not necessarily because they're older. I just think because we know all there is to know. There's nothing else to tell.
Let us know in the comments. I guess this is my third question you guys can chime in on. Do you think they could start over with a younger cast? And would millennials and Gen Zs watch a younger cast? I personally say no, because they're watching YouTube and they love TikTok. TikTok is like it for them. Wow, they're pulling somebody else over
on the left side.
And that's dangerous.
That is very dangerous.
A woman got killed in Atlanta recently, pulling over her. She got a flat tire, and somebody else died too, pulling over on the left shoulder.
Like, why are they pulling him over there?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not good.
It's not good.
But yeah, I don't think the younger crew will watch it because they have so many other options. And so when we say the Housewives of Atlanta, they're older, should we, we're not saying get rid of them because they need to be put out to pasture.
No.
It's just because these ladies have told their story, front, back, and sideways, and then they've even embellished it. It's done.
It's done.
It is absolutely done. But we are going to go ahead, guys. Now, we've seen 2 people pulled over on the wrong side of the road.
I'm only doing 76, so I'm good.
We are going to go ahead and focus on the rest of this drive. All right. We want to thank you guys for always chiming in with these car chats. I want to thank you guys for, not taking these car chats so personally. These are just our views on it. Very lighthearted.
Even when we get into the political stuff, it's lighthearted.
These are just our views on it. And you guys may agree with some of our views. You guys may disagree, but we can all, just continue the chat in, down in the comments. And so we really do appreciate that. All right. Until next time, guys, really appreciate